All right. Well, we are SOTU, and we welcome you to SOTUesday for the 17th of May, 2016. Morning. We have been speaking to you for a number of weeks about integrity, about the dynamics of your reality, about the dynamics of the things that are occurring in your world, the increasing chaos, all of the dynamics that are seemingly pressing in on you from the outside. And we have had a number of suggestions about the things that you can do in order to be able to alleviate some of these pressures. But the one thing that we have been being asked more than anything else was to provide a dynamic, a method of understanding for the chaos that is occurring in your world right now. And we explained that to some degree last week, but we also wish to explain to you the dynamics of the cycle that you are involved in that all of you forget about. You know, if we are to say to you, you are on a divine journey, you are on a journey through lifetimes, you are on a journey through time and space to gain experience, to gain wisdom, to grow, to become more than you are in any given moment. For that is the nature of the universe. If you were to look at the whole dynamic of the growth and expansion of your physical universe, and if you look at the dynamics of the growth and expansion of your physical bodies and your mental and emotional states, you will get a good picture on the truth of everything. And so we would like to speak to you about the purposefulness of your life. No matter, even those of you that are involved in, what shall we say, deeply uncomfortable dynamics in your world, in your lives right now, it is all very purposeful to your journey. It is all very purposeful to your growth, to your gaining of wisdom, gaining of experience. You know, it's not that you are facing the things that you are facing in your lives by accident. In fact, we would suggest to you, and this is where the dynamic of taking responsibility comes in, we would suggest to you that the truth of the matter is that, you planned all of this. Now, did you plan it so that you, from a physical incarnation? No, you didn't. You planned it from the dynamic of your non-physical self, in conjunction with your higher self, in conjunction with your soul. You are the ones that decided what you wish to understand, what you wish to learn in a lifetime. And we will explain to you how it happens. It's a very mechanical and in very many ways, it's a very mechanical dynamic. It is not a great mystery at all if you can stop and look at the full picture. You can begin to understand that no incarnations, no one lives or dies by accident. You must understand that you have chosen to face the things that you have chosen to face in your lifetime. When you take that ultimate responsibility, there is a great deal of freedom and a great deal of healing and a great deal of forgiveness that can be involved in that dynamic. But until you take responsibility, as long as you wish to continue to blame yourself or the others, yourself or the others, yourself or the others, as long as you wish to continue to blame, you will never find forgiveness. And therefore, you will never find healing. But your world right now is facing the dynamic of crisis to the point that movement is going to be forced if you do not do it voluntarily. And we're talking about your personal movement. If there are things that you have left till the end, well, we would suggest to you that this is the time that they're coming up. This is the time that you are being asked to face those things that you have packed away, that you have hidden away. Let's just say you wish to come into a lifetime and you wish to learn about love in this lifetime. And let us just say that in that dynamic of wishing to learn about love, in this dualistic reality, we would ask you The main question, those of you that have worked with us for a number of years will know this answer to this question before we answer. Are you going to give, if you wish to learn about love in a lifetime, are you going to give yourself loving parents? Well, of course, dear ones. The answer is no, you're not going to give yourself loving parents. You're going to give yourself a situation where love is snatched away early on, where the dynamics of the belief systems of mother, of father imprint such a dynamic upon you that it causes what shall we say, an emotional circuitry within you that programs your subconscious, that teaches you that it's not safe to love. So you will go through a whole lifetime seeking to learn about love. Over and over again, making mistakes, making certain successes forward, and then maybe 2 steps back. Dynamics of facing certain things in your lifetimes. Now, how does this happen? We said it was mechanical, which means that there's not really a lot of blame involved in the dynamic. So in the dynamic of wishing to learn about love, you're going to pick from the other side, you're going to pick your mother, you're going to pick your father, you're going to pick your siblings, you're going to pick your antagonists along the way, and you're going to plant them at certain times along your timeline, because you exist in a physical body in a linear timeline, although your spirit and your soul and your true self are quantum, are beyond time and space. So you're going to pick your mother, you're going to pick your father, you're going to, a lot of times just because you're dead doesn't mean you're any smarter than you were when you were alive. So often what will happen, you'll create a mountain for yourselves to climb when a hill would have done. But, you take the journey that you wish to take. So let us explain to you how it works. In the in-between space, in what some of you call heaven, although it's not really in the dynamics of the concepts that you understand it, truly, it is so much more, it is so much more meaningful. There is so much more cognizance and awareness than you believe. Consciousness is just that, conscious. So in the in-between time, you're going to wish to, those of you that wish to learn about love, you would pick yourself a situation where that love would be snatched away in some way early on. And so, the build-up before a lifetime is quite emotionally exciting. Yes, there is emotion on the other side. As a matter of fact, that's all it really is emotional. It's an emotional experience. And so much more. So you're going to be in that exuberance of an upcoming lifetime, and you're really going to be excited about learning about love in this lifetime, because you've given yourself such crossroads, such challenges, and you're going to handle it, and you're standing on the edge of the new incarnation, and you're looking down at the fetus in the womb, or you're looking down at the dynamic of mother in the dynamic. Almost some people will enter the physicality almost at the point of fertilization. Others will wait 3 months, 4 months, 5 months into the pregnancy before the consciousness enters, and others, especially if it's a trying pregnancy, will often enter the body immediately after incarnation, birth. So here you are. You're standing on the verge of a new lifetime with all of its possibilities, with all of its excitement, and it's almost like you do a swan dive into the ethers, and you enter the body, and you instantly forget it all. Now, how does the imprinting take place? And we use this example basically as a metaphor. As we say, it is individual in the dynamic of when you wish to enter the body, when consciousness wishes to enter the body. And so therefore, there are many variations of the dynamic. But let us just say for simplicity, that your consciousness enters the body, you completely forget it all except for the emotional feeling that you had upon immediately entering the body. That excitement, that knowing that you were one with all, that knowing of the oneness, and that knowing, that connection goes with you as you incarnate in the physical, as you enter, as consciousness enters the fetus. The first experience of the fetus is that you are floating in a sea of amniotic fluid. It is nurturing, and it is warm, it is comforting. Your consciousness will expand a little bit because consciousness wishes to fill the space that it is in. And you will sense the placenta and your umbilical connection to it, the source of food, the source of life. And again, a positive reinforcement. Consciousness will reach out one more time. But this time, dear ones, instead of a positive reinforcement, what happens is you connect with the nervous system of your mother, with all of her fears, with all of her doubts about herself, with all of her doubts about father, with all of her beliefs about men, with all of her beliefs about women. And in that instant, your life lesson is set. Your emotional template is set. You will take on all of the beliefs, all of the judgments, all of the biases of mother without ever having a conscious awareness of it, without ever being able to sort it out. So it's almost like you are being imprinted with an electromagnetic energy that sets in place certain neural pathways in your brain, in your body. And it is these neural pathways, these habitual patterns, that you will spend your life seeking to move beyond. For these are the things that are called your life lessons. These are the only things that are really governed by karma, believe it or not. Now, you must also understand that your soul participates in your life journey. And your soul, it's up to your soul to give you those opportunities to learn about love. And so certain instances, certain dynamics will repeat in your lives to keep teaching you about the dynamics of love. Now, these beliefs are governed by your subconscious because you have to understand the infant does not have a verbal language. Your subconscious, therefore, does not have a verbal language. It only understands emotions, metaphors, and symbols. In other words, it only understands emotion and pictures. So, let us just say you wish to move beyond this dynamic for yourself. Most of you, if you are dealing with the dynamic of your life lesson, it's very easy to identify what is the one thing that you really have wished for in your whole life, but you have never been able to achieve. That's your life lesson. We can almost guarantee that for you. So how do you change this dynamic? Because we do not wish to just identify the problem. We wish to give you a way to move beyond it. So, understand, and we realize that in video, it's not like in a workshop where we really build up to this dynamic for over an hour in explanation in order to get to this point of understanding. But you must understand also the dynamic ultimately is that you are imprinted at birth with certain patterns, with certain emotional templates that you ultimately have chosen to take on. So, how do you change this dynamic for yourself? Well, as we said, the subconscious only understands emotion, metaphor, and symbol. So let us use those dynamics in order to begin to change your reality. First, we would like you to take a breath and just kind of relax for a moment, and we would like you to engage your imagination a little bit. And we would like you to understand that when this hurt was done, when this wounding happened, because it was a wounding, the infant was so ill-equipped to be able to deal with the emotions, to deal with the understanding, to deal with the biases of an adult woman. Whether you be a man or a woman incarnating, you all incarnate through a woman, and it is that connection with her nervous system that sets the template for you. So if you just take a moment and you relax, and you realize, you all know, most of you know, that you have an etheric body, you have an energetic body that you can almost imagine as, what shall we say, interconnected the pathways of electromagnetic energy pulsing in a three-dimensional schematic of your body. And you can imagine that when this first trauma, when this hurt was done, it caused a cut, a gash, a slash in your etheric body. Can you find where that cut, that gash, that slash in your etheric body is? And if you can be so bold to touch it. Just the dynamic of us speaking to you this morning about the emotional trauma that comes from birth puts you back in touch again with the emotion. Imagining the hurt as a cut, a gash, a slash creates the metaphor. Now, can you imagine that your higher self, that your soul, that your spirit, perhaps is standing behind you and handing you filaments and threads of light over your shoulder that you can take and you can begin to sew up the wound. Sew up the wound. Sew up the wound. And we would suggest to you that after this video is over and you have a little time, that you take 15 or 20 minutes and sew up your wound. And just allow the memories, allow the musing to move forward. Let it be whatever it's going to be. There's no reason to put logic on it. No reason to put logic on it. You get that? And the symbol of the dynamic is sewing up to the wound. Now, many of you, when you get done with that dynamic, we would suggest you're going to come back out of this light exercise and you are going to begin to carry on with your daily life. You know, it's a funny thing about your subconscious. Because your subconscious does not speak to you in a spoken language, that does not mean it does not communicate with you. And in these dynamics of situations that have been so ingrained for some of you since your birth, your subconscious, and you have given so many ambiguous messages over the years of what you would wish of in these areas, because none of you are babes in the woods anymore. Through the dynamic of ambiguity, what you are saying to your subconscious, perhaps for the first time in a very clear manner, I wish to be done with this dynamic. And it's almost like you're deleting a computer program. Let's just say that you have an old program that you have used for years and years, but you suddenly realize that it's no good for you any longer. So you highlight it and you want to get rid of it. So you hit the delete button, and what's the first thing that your computer asks you?
Are you sure?
Are you sure you wish to delete it? Well, dear ones, your subconscious works in the same way. We would suggest to you that the more specific you do this technique of healing, within 1 hour to 24 hours after you're done, your reality is going to give you an opportunity to do the same old, same old. Why? Why? Because it's just like a computer. You sew up the wound, you say you wish to be done with this, and your reality says, are you sure? By offering you the same old, or an old dream that you think is going to come true this time, but it's never come through before. And it's saying, are you sure? If you exhibit the same behavior as you always have, you're saying, well, I'm not really sure. You're giving another ambiguous message. But if you take the opportunity to not react in the old way to the situation, you take the first steps toward permanent and complete healing along these dynamics, these templates of behavior. We have just given you a 23-minute version of the Birth of Your Real Self intensive that we do that usually takes about 6 hours. We know that we were not able to touch on everything, but in these videos, we give you as much as we can. Those of you that wish to have more can check out Conversations with SOTU website. We will shortly be putting complete meditations up. Behind a paywall, yes, but complete meditations. But in these videos, we will basically be giving you the techniques. We have given you the technique for healing. You can use this for any type of healing, for any type of hurt located in your body. Touch the emotion. That's the identification. See the cut. That's the metaphor. And sew it up. And wait for the are you sure? We love you all so very, very much. We are SOTU. This is SOTUesday for the 17th of May, 2016. And so until the next time we close, sending you peace, sending you happiness, sending you joy.